Okay, so welcome to the call, everyone. Appreciate you all joining. It's this happy Monday morning for us. This is super awesome. And hope you guys all had a great weekend. And I'm going to share my screen, screen number one. And then we are going to watch a quick little video.
Bitcoin is the future world reserve capital network. The smartest thing for the United States is make sure they own that too. In the world post-Satoshi, money bifurcates into currency and capital. Currency is the medium of exchange. It's the legal tender. It's the dollar is the world reserve currency, and everything else in the world is pegged to the dollar. The United States owns the world reserve currency. It's a great advantage for us. The other aspect of money is capital, long-term store of value. I don't need to buy coffee with it. I don't need to pay my rent with it. I want to feed my family 100 years from now with it. I want to be rich forever with it. Money in the form of capital is a profoundly new idea.
Wendell, you got any comments about that?
I love it. And the fact that he's innovative, and the fact, again, it's not, how do I say this? It's not that capital as finance is new, as he's saying. It's just been there, but he's the one who realized what it is. So instead of running around with different currencies that all go to zero and all that, he realized that using capital to preserve not only your current, but definitely down the road is a way better model, which has always been there. Capital is not new. It wasn't just created 15 years ago with Bitcoin. It's always been here. We just didn't address it as that. So for him to put a spotlight on that, that's huge. That's really huge.
Yeah, that is super huge. Okay, so I'm going to share this video as well, and then we will start talking more about what we're doing here. All right, so off we go.
Introducing BitHarvest, a premier Bitcoin mining solution. BitHarvest is a leading Bitcoin mining accelerator, making it easier than ever for miners and investors to secure the blockchain economy and generate returns. BitHarvest is a hassle-free platform. It lets anyone mine Bitcoin without investing in costly ASIC machines, managing high electricity bills, or maintaining physical space. With BitHarvest, you can mine from anywhere, anytime. BitHarvest introduces us the BitBooster device. It optimizes mining performance by enhancing hash strategy, reducing costs, and delivering maximum output. This tool is a game changer, providing daily Bitcoin yields without the usual barriers. BitHarvest isn't just a mining tool, it's a gateway to blockchain opportunities for everyone. With investment options starting at just $100, BitBooster makes mining accessible for everyone. For $1,000, you can own a personal BitBooster device or choose a shared device for $100. BitHarvest's user-friendly app has everything you need, from viewing booster status to managing funds and referrals. Activate your BitBooster and watch your earnings grow every day. Just create an account on BitHarvest.io to get started. BitHarvest now has thousands of users and investors, building a strong global community that continues to grow daily. BitHarvest unites the blockchain community, miners, investors, Web3 projects, and industry leaders. It's creating a dynamic ecosystem that strengthens the decentralized economy and empowers Bitcoin mining to secure the blockchain. So don't wait. Begin your journey with BitHarvest and accelerate your wealth growth today. Visit BitHarvest.io now to get started.
Okay, can I follow right behind that just for clarity for new people?
Please do.
So you guys just watched the video, and if you are new here, you're probably saying, oh, okay, so they're mining, or they're doing arbitrage, or they're... No. The companies that own the farms are mining. BitHarvest is working with them, and through the device, it's producing Bitcoin for us. We are not miners. We're not doing arbitrage. We're not doing any of that. To simplify what you just saw, all we do is buy the device that described what you just heard, and we get paid in Bitcoin from it. If you bought a blender, you bought a blender to blend stuff. You're not the manufacturer and all that. You literally just have the blender. When you cut on a light switch in your house, the power comes on. All this does is make you Bitcoin. We're not miners. We're not arbitraging. We're not doing any of that. So just to be clear, you're getting a device, like buying a shirt that you would wear. You buy this device, it produces Bitcoin for you and your family. Hopefully that's clear.
Super awesome. I was actually thinking, well, gee, that was the presentation. Away we go. Any questions?
Everybody have a great day. Thanks for coming. No, we're just kidding. Just kidding.
Just kidding. No, I'm gonna do a little bit more explaining than that. Let's share my screen. Why we're here today is having a discussion on financial independence. That's why we're here. Okay. The way you have financial independence is by having your passive income this greater than your expenses. Okay. This is the most important key. And so you need to be able to know, everybody knows what their bills are. Okay. So this is how much your bills are. What do you need so that your bills are paid? Every month, every day. What do you need so that you can have passive income, so that you can then be out of the rat race? That's the question. Okay. So for those people that know that answer, feel free to put it in the chat. You're just an average. What's your monthly amount that you need every month to be able to be in the clear? But back to what Wendell said. Okay. What's going on is the power to purchase is going down significantly. Okay. Your ability to buy stuff is going down. This is why, my mother had to go get a job. This is why my wife had to go get a job. This is why my wife and me had to go get second, third jobs, because the ability to buy stuff is going down because the dollar is going down. Okay. It's called inflation. It goes up 3.5% every year. And so if it's going up 3.5% every year, what's going to happen in the next 20 years? I'm telling you, this chart is going to look worse. What's going to happen? Okay. And so we need to take control of our finances. That's why this other chart here is so important, because we need to take control of our finances, and that which we do, for example, between 9 to 5, that pays our bills. Okay. What we do between 5 and 9, however, pays for our future. And that's where we want to look at, is paying for our future. Where are we going? Okay. And so this is part of the thing about Bitcoin, is the change of where the currency is going. Hey, so Wendell, would you like to talk to me about this page here?
Absolutely. All right. So this is a hypothetical. Well, no, this is reality. And the Bitcoin person is the Bitcoin part of it is a hypothetical. So the US dollar, gold, silver, and Bitcoin over time. I was born in 1974. So I said, let me go back 50 years. Let's get a card. Let's see what happens. 1974, 6,000, just over 6,000 receipts, IOUs, US dollars, call it what you want, the lie, you can call it whatever you want. It cost 6,000 of those to get a Stingray. You see here also, in that same year, it took 34.29 ounces of gold to get the same car. All you had to do is go and exchange those amounts of gold and get that amount of dollar, go get the car. Silver, 1,200.3 ounces of silver to get the same car. Same process as the gold. But if Bitcoin was around, it was not. But if it was, this is the hypothetical part. The rest is facts, truth, all of that. 6.6 million Bitcoin to get that same vehicle. Now that's fast forward. If the dollar is holding value, which it absolutely has never done, or the pound, or the yen, the euro, the shekel, the peso, I don't care which one you name, never in the history of man has any currency ever held value. So if you're watching these markets where they're comparing a lie to a lie, talking about one's up on the up, that's pure nonsense. They all go down till they hit zero. That's the real story. To prove it, look at the screen. If the dollar's holding value, that means 50 years later, that car would be, I don't know, 7,000, 8,000, maybe 9,000, maybe less or the same. That's not what you're looking at. The same vehicle 50 years later, yes, it has more technology, but because of inflation and the fact that the dollar is not money, that's why it's $70,000. That is over 11 times the loss in the value of the dollar. That's why it costs so much more. Now, look at the difference on the screen where everything goes from red, stop. Red means stop. Green means go. Look at the gold. Instead of 34 ounces of gold, 50 years later, it took less gold because gold is actually money, 25.71 ounces to do the same thing that 70,000, well, actually less than that because gold has gone up since this slide. So it's actually less gold than that. Silver, no, it didn't stay exactly the same. It went up a little bit, another 800 ounces added to do the same thing, but it didn't go 11 times down. Like, we got to really realize what we can do with these dollars and convert them to other things, in my opinion, not financial advice. But the one that takes the cake is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was around back then, it took 6.6 million. Oh, it's around today. It would only take now less than one Bitcoin, because Bitcoin right now is 90 something thousand to 100,000 on any given day to get the same vehicle. So it's still currency, but you best believe it is the best currency ever created. And I'm pretty sure this one is not going to go to zero like all the other ones, including the dollar, has and will do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we're tying it all together for you guys, okay? Because Bitcoin is the future. This is where the next 100 years, the next that 200 years, 300 years, this is what we're talking about, to have money for your house for the future, okay? Why is it that so many companies are buying Bitcoin? Is because they recognize the importance of it, they recognize the power of it, and where it's going. Why is it that governments are buying Bitcoin? Is because, for example, they want to control it, because the more you have, the more you can control. But it just means you've got better purchasing power. I would expect that in the future, the US dollar will be backed by Bitcoin. Okay. Then it won't become as volatile as it currently is. You don't recognize how volatile it is until you look outside of the market and you see it comparison to gold and silver, and how volatile it is and how much has gone down in ability to purchase stuff over the past 100 years. Okay. So let's talk more specifically about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the best asset that has ever been created by man. Like, we used to have bartering system. We used to have trade in gold, and then we trade. Before that, we trade in beans, and we trade in seashells, lots of different stuff. Okay, so now we've progressed, and we've gone to credit cards most recently, and now we're going to the best asset ever is Bitcoin, because it performs the best out of anything out there. Okay, so in the 8 of the past 11 years, Bitcoin has been the top best performing asset. There are other assets that are worth getting into, like gold and silver and real estate, as an example. Like, those are all really good assets as well, but nothing holds its wealth like Bitcoin will in the future, and is right now. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin. Is specifically, the price of Bitcoin goes up and down. Okay, so this, every time it goes down, yeah, that's a sale. But over the long run, price of Bitcoin is going up, and it will continue to go up. The experts are saying, $100,000, $1 million. It just hit $100,000 just a few days ago. Okay, but it will continue to go up in the long run. So what does Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin so important? Okay, let me explain how Bitcoin works. Okay, so Bitcoin, every 4 years, half as much Bitcoin can be produced, half as much. Okay, and that's called the halving. That's why it's called the halving. But one thing, so it's called scarcity, and this is what makes Bitcoin useful, is its scarcity. Is it makes it desirable because it can't be destroyed. It's scarce. It can be transferred from place A to place B really inexpensively. Okay, and so these are all factors of what causes Bitcoin to be the best asset ever. Okay, so not only is it scarce, so every 4 years the ability to create it goes down, but the desirability is going up, and that trend will continue for a long time. Okay, So Bitcoin is a great store of value and it's useful commodity in the future. I'd encourage you to go look at more Michael Saylors, look at experts in the field. You know, Robert Kiyosaki, lots and lots of people out there that are really qualified in their fields, and go listen to what they have to say, figure it out, because these guys have a lot of important things to say. So I've alluded to three ways that you can acquire Bitcoin. Way number one is mining, and I'll explain that in a moment. Way number two is to buy it. So you can buy a little bit of Bitcoin, and every day I'd encourage you, because you're converting your worthless fiat currency into something of value. And so that's the second way. And the third way is that you do goods and services in the and you get paid in the dollar. So here, let's talk about mining, why this is the best way. And I'll just briefly explain what the mining process is. Okay, so you guys know that. However, I want to change that to this page over there. There we go. Okay, so this is a mining machine, and all it does is it detects movement on the network. Okay, and so what movement is person A is sending a little bit of Bitcoin to person B. For example, I send a little bit of Bitcoin to Wendell. Now I can send as much as I want or as little as I want. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. No one is going to babysit me. No one is going to restrict me. I can send as much as I want, whenever I want, to whomever I want. Okay, that's what makes Bitcoin so powerful. Is it's just simply controlled by intellectual property. So the miner, what it does is it detects that movement on the network. This is a graphical interface depicting movement on the network and what's going on. And so every single one of these blocks falling is a little bit of Bitcoin being moved from place A to place B. Let's say I just sent some to Wendell. In this example, 3.92 million. Man, you hit the black. That'd be nice to be on the other end of that, eh? So in this example, that block right there was $3.92 million worth of Bitcoin that was moved from place A to place B. What the miner does is it detects the movement on the network, and it has to use a mathematical computation to do a bit of proof of work. And it then posts on the blockchain, yes, this item was moved from place A to place B. Okay. And they receive a little bit of commission as a result of that work that they just did. What happens is in that process, every 10 minutes, these blocks are revealed. Okay. Every single block falling down is revealed in this entire block. And so every 10 minutes, this block is then completely revealed, and this produces new Bitcoin and the commission, and is dumped into the mining pool. Okay. And so the only person that can take the Bitcoin back out of the mining pool is that computer that put the CPU in power to put it into the.
In this video, we'll guide you through the process of conducting a transaction and verifying it on the blockchain. First. Okay,
so she's going to go through the process of doing a withdrawal, which I encourage you guys to do. And now she's going to talk about how to
paste your BTC wallet address. Click on the TX ID, which is transaction ID. Verify the date. It was received on March 14th, 2024 at 17 hours, 27 minutes, and 55 seconds. Note the block height as 834644. Then, scroll down to see that our address, BC1P30, received 0.001 BTC. Next, click on the sender address, 3MPFY, which is the BitHarvest cold wallet. Scroll down again to identify the source of the BTC input. Click on the sender address, BC1QKG, which is also a BitHarvest cold wallet, having sent 0.499 BTC. Continue scrolling down, then click on the sender address, BC1Q4LM, which sent 0.5 BTC. This is identified as the mining pool wallet. By scrolling further, you can verify the input is from BioBTC, the mining pool company.
That's how the mining takes place, okay? And so this is how we are involved, okay? The way we are involved is we have a machine that what it does is it detects on the network the movement. And it detects that movement, and what it does is it then feeds that information to the mining machine, okay? So this is a bit booster. It's just a USB thumb drive device that plugs into a computer. Now, the way where it plugs in is at the server room in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, and so they've got a server room and 2 warehouses, and they're dispersed throughout the city so that disaster recovery. Okay, and this device is it detects movement on the network, and as a result of the movement on the network, it evaluates the information. So what it does is it evaluates for high movability, like can it get the work done as quick as possible? Okay. And so it gets the work done as quick as possible, and it sends all of these jobs to the miners. And those miners are doing the work. It's just filtering these jobs for it. And it tosses out those jobs that don't need to get done. And I'll explain what that is. Tossing out the jobs that don't need to get done. The miner, when it posts, only the first one wins the reward of doing the work. Every single one after that is simply a confirmation on the network, but they don't actually get paid. And so we don't want to do them because we want to get paid. Okay. And so that's how this filter process works is the booster itself is detecting the movement on the network. Now, this software has been in production for the past 2 years with Herleen, and the way we got involved with this is Logan Lee had his own little mining farm, and his mining farm, he wanted to find out a way to have production work better. Okay. So he got in touch with Logan Lee. Logan Lee got in touch with Herleen, and they formed this company. Now, from the way the way the Bitcoin are shared out is 60% is shared out back to the miners, the mining operation. Okay, 35% goes to the marketing plan, and 5% goes to the company. So they have to keep the lights on because they've got a really good IT team and they got a really good accounting team, and you want to keep the lights on. So over the past 6-7 months, we have in fact produced over 100 Bitcoins, but on this chart shows 100 Bitcoins. Okay. And the way that works is, so of those 100 Bitcoins that we produced is 60 of them went back to the mining operation. 35 of them went to the marketing side of it, and 5 went back to the company. Okay. And this makes it really fair because everybody wants to make some money. And this is an opportunity for all of us to be able to participate and make some money. Like it costs like $10,000 to have your own mining operation. Okay. Just to keep things clear. And they make about $5 a day in Bitcoin, but they have to pay for the electricity. They have to pay for, housing costs. They have to pay for upgrade of hardware. And so that's a lot of expenses that they have to pay. That your question is, well, why would a mining company, they just buy boosters? That's a really good question. And the reason why they don't have to do that, they just sign a contract with us. We have 3 mining farms. One is in Texas, and the other one is in Ethiopia, and the other one is in Cambodia. And so those 3 mining farms, they are licensed with their respective governments. Okay, this is really important. They're licensed with their respective governments, and we want to work with licensed companies because we want to be above board on everything. And that's why we have our own licenses, which I'll talk about in a second. And so these companies have their own mining operations going on, and they have all of these fees and all sorts of stuff that they have to do. And so they make a certain amount of Bitcoin, and electricity is a major cost of that. Okay. We come along and we produce Bitcoin on top of that. So this is what they were making. We make it on top of, and in addition to. Okay. And so that's what's shared out, is the in addition to is shared back to them. Okay. And so from their perspective, they have no extra costs. And that's why they sign contracts with us, is because they've got no additional cost. We're the ones buying the boosters. And so we have the boosters. It's just a one-time fee. You don't have to go in. You don't have a monthly reoccurring fee. You don't have any, you don't have to do that. You don't have to worry about, no, none of that. We buy the product the one time and it works from then after. And the company itself, that's what 5% is for, is they have to keep the lights on. They have to keep the electricity going. They have to keep the high internet. We don't have to worry about any of that. And that's super great. So let's compare buying a business. I'm going to buy my business. What are you going to do?
I am going to go ahead and take that 100 grand. No, what's this? 50? Oh, 50 grand. I'm gonna get me 50 boosters and then kick back and relax. Start getting paid in about 48 hours.
Wow, buddy. Okay. So, like I said, I've got monthly costs and all sorts of expenses. So my business is making me netting me about $1,000 a month. That means I'm making about gross $2,000 because 1,000 of it goes back to expenses. Okay. So what about you? What are you netting?
Well, I'm sorry to hear that for you, but I wish you all the best with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and just keep on chilling, going on trips, hanging out with family, taking naps, whatever, and make about $200 a day since the machines have cut on. That's an estimated number. Could be a little higher, could be a little less.
Oh man. So you're telling me that you had a one-time cost and that's it.
Yep, paid for them. They cut them on, and I've been getting paid ever since.
Wow. Okay. So okay, maybe I've got here's my yearly estimate. I'm going to make $12,000 a year approximately with my business. What about you?
So your yearly is about 12 grand. I make about 6 grand rough estimate a month. And my yearly, that would bring me to about an estimated 72,000.
Wow. That's something else. Okay. I know what it is. I know what it is. You're talking to people and you're telling them this is the best thing ever. That's what you're doing, right?
Nope, haven't done that. Plan on getting started with that eventually, but so far, nah, I ain't telling nobody. I'll get around to it. So I
Oh,
make this with nobody's help.
okay. So tell you what, maybe I can make it better using real estate because I know real estate really well because I've been lots of houses, I've flipped lots of houses, I've got stuff going on here. So maybe I can do it better with property then. I'll do the property and you get some boosters. Let's say I take $100,000 and I buy 100 boosters. What about you? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so apparently you didn't learn from the last, but so I'm gonna just go ahead and stay over here with the boosters. I'm gonna go ahead and get me 100 boosters this time with that 100K, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Okay, man. So I know I have to fix it up and advertise. Hey, but here's the thing, okay? So if I'm sitting on a property and I don't have any tenants, it's costing me money. So I either want to sell that property and I have no control over the price of the sale, or I'm going to have to get some tenants in there. So I've got costs and expenses throughout the month, year. My net, let's say I make $500 a month. What about you?
Well, depending on where that house is bought, everything you have on here could literally happen. You might have to fix it up. You definitely have to advertise. You got to put, time and hope that it sells or rents in the months and weeks to come. If you get a tenant, you have to deal with the tenant stuff. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm gonna just go ahead and about 48 hours later, after those 100 boosters are cut on, making about $400 estimated in Bitcoin, mind you, per day.
Wow, that's something else. Okay, so my monthly, well, my yearly is about 6,000. Maybe I beat you on that one. How are you doing?
No, I'm looking at the same sheet you're looking at. It ain't beat nothing. My monthly beats your yearly.
The
So my
monthly
yearly
beats my
absolutely
yearly.
demolishes your yearly by far. And again, these are estimated numbers, but yeah, about $3 to $5 per machine on average could be anywhere in there. Yeah, that's where these numbers come from.
Oh, but I know what it is. You have like hundreds of people you talk to. That's what this is. That's where you're making your money, right?
If that was the case, the numbers would be even bigger. So yeah, with nobody's help, this is just what me and my wife decided to do. We do this, those numbers speak for themselves. No recruiting or sharing with anyone.
Man. So from my perspective, being in business for myself, like I'm going, so I can buy an asset that simply makes me money. I only have to buy it the one time. I don't have any monthly costs. I don't have any other stuff. And I don't have to talk to people if I don't want to. If I do talk to people, that's simply a bonus. Wow, I cannot see a downside to this. So let's compare using one Bitcoin to buy 70 boosters. Now it would be 90 boosters, 100 boosters because of the price of Bitcoin. But let's just compare with 70 boosters. So with 70, with one Bitcoin, now the Bitcoin could sit in the bank and Wendell, if it sat in the bank and I did nothing with the Bitcoin, like next year, what will likely be going on with the Bitcoin?
You're gonna have the same one Bitcoin, no matter where it is, just sitting.
Yeah, it'd be the same Bitcoin. But would the Bitcoin be better next year? Probably.
Not no guarantees, but just based on numbers, according to the last 15 years since it's created, yes, I personally do believe it would be a lot better than it is today. Just my opinion.
That's my opinion as well. Okay. So in this example, I'm going to buy some boosters instead with my one Bitcoin. I'm going to buy 70 boosters. So this year, what would that generate for me?
Almost double. Rough estimate. Again, it could your one Bitcoin that you turned back into USDT, put in this system and let the boosters run, could turn out to be 1.8. That's almost double what you started with, where anywhere else it would just be sitting, gaining nothing. You still have one Bitcoin versus a number heading up.
Right. And next year, how many boosters would you have?
At least 1.8, and however much those two made together, if you decide to put it back in. But if you did nothing, you still have at least almost double.
Wow.
And the boosters are still making you more Bitcoin too.
Something else, eh? Yeah, I think I need to change my pathway. I think you're persuading me. I need to do something else. This, next year, I would still have boosters. But okay, for me myself, I would compound that. And so I would take some of my earnings and I would buy some more boosters. So I'd have more boosters than 70 and it would produce me even more. I would have
So Walter, isn't it like three options? You can either take everything that's being produced and put it back in and make more, or you can take some of what is being made, put it back in, make more, and keep some. Or last but not least, you can put nothing back in and just take out everything that's coming in if you so choose to do that. Isn't that the three options? Anyone can make their own decision.
yeah, like kind of three options in any varying degree. That's true.
Now,
Because
I'll do my testimony. We joined in August. I am not withdrawing anything until January 1. So whatever is being produced in Bitcoin, or because we are starting to share and tell other people any USDT coming in, everything's going back in and compounding it up to a much bigger number by January 1. Then I'll reassess, start taking out X amount of Bitcoin, leaving the rest to keep everything growing. Just my opinion. That's just what we're going to do over here.
it sounds to me like you got some good business acumen in your head there, buddy.
Yeah, I've been doing it a little while, since the age of 9.
Yeah, been doing it a little while. Hey, so let's look um at cost of boosters. Okay. So I asked a question way back in the chat. Okay. And most people looked to me like their answers for break even point was about $5,000. Okay. And that seems about right because that's for most people, that's the average income, kind of most westernized countries, anyways. Okay. And so for most people, they get 50 boosters. They've got their expenses covered. Okay. So here's the thing is it doesn't matter where you are at. Okay. If you can buy 70 boosters, you can buy 100 boosters, you can buy 50 boosters, 10 boosters, doesn't matter. You set your goal of where you want to be, figure out where you want to be, and can you start off with that? No or yes, that's okay. Then figure out where you can start and then grow your account up to that. Okay. Like you can get your feet wet at $100 and makes you $30 a day, 30 cents a day to 50 cents a day, or you could buy a full booster. It's a $3 to $5 a day, or you could buy 10 boosters and that's okay. 30 to 50 cents, 30 to $50 a day. It doesn't matter. I know of one lady, she walked in the office, she bought 550 boosters. A month later, maybe it was 2 months later, she walked back into the office, bought another 1,000 boosters. And then a week after that, she bought another 1,000 boosters. My word. I'm like, there's some people that have got really good business acumen. Like, like Wendell here, he's got it figured out. He's got it dialed in. Okay, so you can raise you can increase your pay anytime you want. Just buy another booster. Because we are part of the mining operation, and the Bitcoin that is being produced is being put there by the contract, the miners that we have. You're the only one that can pull out the Bitcoin from the mining pool, and when you pull it out, it arrives in your wallet. So I want to talk about the office just for a little bit here. Okay, so the office is in Kuala Lumpur, and this is a picture of the server room, and lots of people have gone and visited. Okay, if you want to go visit, by all means, please do. It's not a problem. Okay. That's what my friend did. He actually walked in the office. He goes, "Hey, what do you guys do?" And they explained it to him. And I'm gonna show that video to you right now, because she's going to talk and explain some stuff. And so she's going to walk them through the video. Okay. So this over here is where every single one of these racks here holds 20 boosters. In the entire server room, there's about 1,000 boosters in the third server room at least. Okay. And they've got two other warehouses that hold these. And so you don't have to worry about it being connected to your computer or the internet speed or anything like that. It's all right here, and the boosters are right here. So we're gonna have her walk over to the far side of the rack here, where she's actually gonna pull out the machine for my friend's account. Okay, so this here, this is the rack. This is the in connection with between the boosters and the mining machines, and every single one of these is transactions going on and what's going on at the time. Okay, so it logs each booster is listed. Okay, so they're all connecting with the server farm. They're all connecting with our app at the same time. So let's go on, and we're gonna have him pull out, and you'll see at the top here where it shows that he's got 5.3 active on this device. Okay, so in real time he has 5.3 active, and she's going to reach up and pull that booster out. And you just fast forward a little bit because she does a lot of talking. So she pulls it out. Okay, so now we have it here, and now you're going to go back to his device, and we'll see that it shows on his device. Now it shows that he's got one disabled, one inactive, and that's in real time how fast it happens. Okay, so he's going to go down here to the bottom of his screen so that you can see the device, and it'll show on this device on the app. It'll show in a second here. Once he goes to the next page, it'll show that he's got one disabled right there. Okay, that's line number 17. And so that was his device that they pulled out. Now every single device has its own IMEI number. Okay, so it's like a MAC address, and that's the MAC address right there. And on the device here, this is the exact same MAC address. All right, and so this makes it so that the device is connected to the network and in real time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it back onto the rack, and she's going to put it back in, and then on his device, it'll then instantaneously then list as enabled and running. Okay, and so this is really cool. There's line 17 right there. Boom, and then he'll go up to the top, and boom, it shows that he's active again, just like that. That's how fast it was. Okay, so this is awesome for me as an IT guy. This is like really cool. I can talk to people if I want to. Don't have to talk to people. Doesn't matter. The machines work, and you get a 5-year warranty with the machine. Okay, and it's an invoice that you get. You have to go into the invoice and download it yourself. But in that, it has all the specs, everything for the 5-year warranty. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the company. This is the most important thing about this company, is we have an MSB license from FinCEN, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. What does that mean? Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, what they're concerned about is money laundering. What they're concerned about is fraud in the industry with regards to money transferring from people to people. And so they don't want any Ponzi scheme going on, because that's what a fraud is. That's what money laundering is they put money at the bottom and the people at the top take it out. Okay, that's what money laundering is. And so they're trying to avoid that. And so by acquiring this MSB license, we acquired this license back in April. Like our company was formed, and we got, that was the first thing we applied for, because you have to have a certain amount of accounting acumen to be able to get a license, first of all. And so this comes from the US government, okay? And they've issued us this license. You can just use your phone, scan this QR code, the number is 31000270260560594. Just put that in number there and you'll see our license come up. Okay. This is like one of the most important reasons. This is why we are able to come out with the Visa debit card, is because our Visa debit card, we have to have business acumen with regards to accounting. We had to go through that process to make sure that we're in the correct way of doing stuff. Okay. And so that's where that comes from. Okay. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Lenny Herlin and Logan Lee. These is the CEO and the CTO of the company. All right. And between them, they form the business, and that's why we're involved. Okay. And they have done many, many interviews with Binance. And why is Binance interviewing them so much? Well, first of all, Binance is a real company as well. And Binance wants to go be in business with good companies. And that's why they're interviewing us, is because, well, we've got a token that we're going to be listing shortly. And they want that to list. So let me tell you a little bit more about the company. So we, in May, on May 20th, we received an award for the best service provider in this industry from our own colleagues. And like, we just a brand new company, just formed, and they gave us that award. It was so cool. And we, a couple months later, we're at a expo in Dubai, and this is where we actually pick up our second contract with the mining companies, and that's where we picked up our second one. So you ask a question. So where in the world can we buy these boosters? Yeah, anywhere in the world you can buy these boosters, except if there's a country that is under restrictions that can't. But everywhere else you can, because and it doesn't matter. And it's so great because it doesn't come to your door, it doesn't come to your house. The mail person doesn't open up the package and steal it or open up the package, charge you another $10 because he opened up the package. No, none of that happens. It's not shipped out. It's housed right in the server room, right in Kuala Lumpur. And you can go to the office anytime you want. Okay. So we're all over the world. And just a couple other things to close off the call here. Here's the timeline of what's going on. Okay. So we opened our doors at the very beginning of 2024. And by March, my friend came on board. And in April, that's where we kind of come on board. In April, we also got insurance from Alliance. That's really important, by the way. And we have done that expo. We got the award in May, and in June we did a housewarming party, basically, and continue on the process. We're doing presentations. Our company's going all over the world. Continue on the process, and we are going to be doing we're going to bring our token on board and bring it live. Okay. And so right now, the tokenization, we have an in-house token as part of the buying process. And once we've sold off all of our boosters, we will be then mining that token. Okay. And so you'll have a second way of making income. Like we've talked about, the debit Visa card is coming out shortly. And the token will be created into a coin, and we'll have our own blockchain at that point in time, and away we go live. And so that's really cool. Okay, so that is a brief overview.
Can jump in real quick, Walter, before we move on?
Sure.
So again, for the new people or those who've been here a while, and every time you hear mining, you think we're doing it. The company is going to start mining the coin, the BTH, not us. Until they change it, I'm going to keep stressing this. We, the people, are not mining. We're not doing arbitrage. So every time you hear us say we, he's talking about the company. So just to be clear, so we're not getting you guys confused, and then y'all run off telling people, oh yeah, we do mine. We mine and we arbitrage. They're like, I don't want to do that. That's not what we're doing. All we're doing is buying a device that does what? Pays its owner in Bitcoin. That's it. Like buying a pair of socks.
Exactly right. Yeah. When I say we, I mean the company. And no, we are definitely not doing any sort of arbitrage. and we are not doing any sort of buying and selling of securities either. Okay, so none of that crap. Okay. Well, while you're doing that, why don't I talk to you guys about compounding, how compounding works. Okay, just to guys to keep you in perspective. Okay, so here's my screen. Okay, this is the back office. Here on the screen, the page I'm on is called package. Okay, this is where you would buy your package from. And right here on the screen, it talks about what can be gained. So you gain Bitcoin every single day. Yeah, we do. This is super awesome. And so this is the amount of Bitcoin that you can be gained between this amount and that amount. And right now it equates to about between $4 and $12. Okay. When I talk to people, I say, between 3 and 10. Okay? But I just want to tell you about compounding, because that way you understand how it works. I don't know if you guys have heard of the rule of 72 before. Okay. I'm going to teach you what the rule of 72 is. The rule of 72, the way it works, is 72 divided by the interest rate, and we'll use this number, 7.42.42. Okay, so 72 divided by the interest rate gives you the interval at which your account will double. Okay, so in this example, that means at the low end of boosters, okay, it'll double about 9 months. Okay, so let's do that again. 72 divided by, at the high end, just for fun, 22.27. So again, it's the interval at which your account will double, will be twice as big. Okay, and so at the low end, it's 3 months. Okay, and so what that means is that somewhere between we'll call it 6 to 7 months. That'll probably be the average. Is your account will double, which means whatever you put in, that amount will now be twice that amount at that time. Now you can use this in your regular life. Okay, the rule is 72 divided by the interest rate. Let's say you have a bank account that's an interest rate of 3% a year. What that means is it'll take 24 years to double. Okay, so 72 divided by, let's say you got an interest rate on your credit card. Let's say you got 29% on your credit card. Now, this is a really good one, because that means that it'll double every 3 months. Okay, so it can go either way. It can go for you or against you, but you need to know, like, compounding is the 8th wonder of the world. Okay, and you've got a way here to have your machines. I started with 0.1. Okay, I bought 0.1 machine back on May 1st. On May 2nd, my machine came live, and then on May 3rd, I started making income. Okay, so on May, I made 0.57 cents. Now, back then, this number never ever changes. 0.0000588. Okay, that never changes. It's always the same, because that's the amount of Bitcoin I received on that day. But the price of Bitcoin on that day was about 30 cents. So that's how much I received, was about 30 cents worth of Bitcoin. But today it's, $100,000. So the price of the amount of it has gone up. And so that's about how much I make. And according to this chart here, that's about it. That's, it's the same, it's within this numbers range. Okay. So just to keep things in perspective, if I look at today, okay, today I get, $17. Yesterday, $18. Goes up and down. It's okay. The day before that, $18. The day before that was $20. So it goes up and down. It's not a problem, because the amount of the machines just simply produce for you every single day. I wanted to show this to you. This page is the most important page. Okay, so I got 5.5 boosters right now. Okay, but what happened is this page here, this spools up to 70 terahash, and this is the amount of energy one booster generates to contribute to the creation of Bitcoin. Okay, and so 70 is what each one booster is assigned. And so because I have 5.5 boosters, it's 70 times 5.5, and that's why it comes up with 370. Okay, but this page is the most important page. On this page here, this is the page where it talks about my own boosters, and you can download this file here. This is a really important file to download. I'm not a tax consultant, but you do need to talk to a tax consultant. Okay, go talk to that tax consultant, download this file, and give it to him, and that way you can, if it's applicable in your area, again, I'm not a tax consultant. If it's applicable in your area, you can then get write-offs according to whatever business it is that you're running. Okay. And this is important because you need to be honest in your dealings with your government. You need like do what you need to do. Okay. So this is the invoice, and it talks about the acceleration rate that it's doing. It talks about the algorithm it's doing. Okay. And it's custodian. Custodian means housed at their house, at their office. Okay. And I bought one share. This is what I do almost every single day is I take take the funds that I earn and I grow and I put a little bit of it back onto my account. So that's called compounding. And then I make a little withdrawal because then I'm paying myself along the way. There's lots of different strategies. Like Wendell said, he's putting all of it back in right now because he wants to go as fast as he can. I respect that. And there's other people that withdraw all of it too. That's okay. I respect that. I'm doing something in between where I'm putting about 90% back in and pulling out 10%. That's okay. Whatever works for you, because we all have our own goals of where we want to be and where we want to go. Okay. So here's the booster for 5 years. That's the 5-year guarantee that we get. Okay. And if something happens during that time frame, they just simply swap it out, put another one in, and you're good to go. Okay. And you probably won't even know that there was a problem. But let me tell you, from an IT perspective, a USB device doesn't have any moving parts. So because it doesn't have any moving parts, what is it that would break down? If something does break down, it'll be manufacturing defect, and that would be fixed in the first 5 years. But something breaking down after that is very unlikely because, like I said, I'm an IT guy. I've got USB devices that I've had for 20 years, 30 years almost, and they still work perfectly fine. Okay. We were talking about compounding just a moment ago. Okay. And so I put today's date here on the left. Okay. Just today's date for fun. Let's say you bought one share. Okay. So one. We're estimating, well, for $4 a day. Okay. For a full bit booster. So this is approximately what you get. Okay. And the way this chart works is let's look at the end date. So that would be August 16th, 2025. That would be 8 months. Exactly like I said. Today, buy one booster. 24, 12, 9, boom. Okay. So now it'll sort. And again, 7 months out, it'll double again to two boosters. Let's go down to the date where it shows 2 boosters. And I'll show you now. Okay, so now we are down here at 2 boosters. I have to do it this way. All right, that's fine. There we go. Okay, so at 2 boosters, the date is again 7 months out, 25, well, 6/19. Okay, so let's double it again just for fun. We'll go down to 4 boosters. 4 boosters. December 25. Let's double it again. 8 boosters. Okay. And that takes you to 25/07. But let's say that instead we want to start off with 10 boosters as an example. Okay. So let's look at the date that way. 2024, today's date, 12/09. Okay. Boom. And we look along the date. And the date it'll double is well, this date is actually the time to buy another share. That's why the first time it messed me up because the next time you buy another share happens to be the double. But what this does is that it shows the ability to compound over a short period of time. Okay, and so the next time you'd buy a share would of course be the 12th. Which is, 2 days from now, because you would have enough funds in the wallet. But let's look at the date. So at this doubling at 10 shared, okay, would be today. We go down and look at 20 shared. What would be the date at that point in time? Sorry, because my mouse is kind of messed up. I can't see that slider to slide down. And then when I do slide, it slides way too fast for what I want to do. Okay, so we're coming up to 2 boosters, 20 boosters right there. So doubling. and we'll look at the date for this line, and that's 06/25. Okay, so you can see that what I'm telling you is true, that the compounding, it doesn't matter how many boosters you have, it takes a certain amount to compound. But this is the most important point, is the amount of time, the interval between doubling shortens. What I mean is that your account grows faster with every double. And so as a result, when you go down here to higher numbers, your account will have higher numbers much faster. So if we put today, if we leave that day, it's 20, let's use 50 boosters as an example. Okay, we go down to 50 boosters. If we were simply compounding as quick as we possibly could, and we bought it today, starting with 10 boosters as an example. Okay, so how long would it take us to get to 50 boosters? Well, let's go have a look. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll change that out so that, let's say you started with 50 boosters. So there's 50 boosters, and today's date, that date would be 26/16. So in January, a year from now, you would have 50 boosters in your account if you had started with 10. So let's put that as today's date for fun, just to see where, because some people do start with that, and that's okay. 09 today, right? So the next time you could buy a booster would be the very next day. In fact, today you could buy a share, and that's what I do, is you simply compound by buying shares, buy more shares. Okay, but at 50, so the next time you'd have a compound, doubling, you can compound every day. But if you bought 50 boosters today, let's take that out of there because it'll mess it up. How long would it take you to get to 100 boosters? Again, the doubling period is about 6-7 months. Okay, so that's how powerful it is by compounding every single day. You are increasing the power of your own account. You're increasing the ability to be able to earn funds. And let's say we started with 50 boosters. It would take us till, oh, I messed up because I cleared out that other one. All right. Well, let's put today's date on here just for fun. I have to go clear all these fields out on me, because that way it shows correctly. All right, today's date, for fun. If you bought 100 boosters, okay, it would take you could buy another full booster tomorrow. That's okay. Off we go. So this is a little chart on compounding. I'll close that here in the back office. Let me talk to you about the account management first of all. Okay, so here under the menu, you click on account. And then within the account, you can then control certain things. So you can update your profile. I would encourage you to go and get your withdrawal addresses put in as soon as you create your account, because that way it's done. Okay, so go get your Bitcoin address, go get your BEP address on the Binance blockchain, USDT, and your withdrawal address for on the Tron blockchain for USDT as well. Get those put in there, because there's a 24-hour window from the time that you put them in there that it won't work anyways. But sometimes, like if you do it like so fast that after the 24 hours, you then click withdrawal, technical support may send you an email saying, hey, did you put this address in and now you're withdrawing immediately, like so fast? Because they don't want people to have their accounts hacked or whatever. Okay, and so they may send you an email. What'll happen is if when you do withdrawal, you pick a day, let's say we withdraw today, and 2 days later, it will then arrive. That's just how it works. And for most of us here in the West, it's 2 days out for anything. So for example, if I buy a booster today, it's the 9th of December, my time, then tomorrow on Tuesday, it will then flip to active. And then on Wednesday, when the server power cycles during this call, it would then appear, you start receiving funds. Okay, so we're always 2 days out. Just the way it is. So put in your withdrawal addresses as soon as you can. Next, change password. You can change your passwords anytime you want as well. Not a problem. And if there's a problem, if you've, hacked try to log into your account too many times, they will require that you reset password, and it will send a code to your email address. You'll verify that code, and then they will send you the address, the new password, and you can log in with that. Now, if you change this password, that does not automatically change this password. This password is for security password. Anytime you have to deal with money, this is the password that'll come up. And so when you first set up your account, these two passwords are the same. And so if you change one of them, the other one will remain whatever it was, and you can freely change either of them at any point in time you want. Not a problem. Okay. Two-factor authentication is just 6-digit code. It's just another way to secure your account, to make it so that you're the one that's logging on to the IT perspective. This is your friendly IT guy talking again. What I would do with your two-factor authentication, I would put your two-factor authentication on your phone, and put your wife's or your significant other's two-factor authentication on your phone as well, and do the same for that other person's phone. Is put your two-factor authentication on that phone, and put their two-factor authentication on their phone as well. Because the reason why, you go, well, why would I want to do that? The reason why is because sometimes you put your phone in your pocket and you go swimming and you forgot that it was in your pocket, and well, now you don't have a way to get into your account conveniently. We're talking about convenience. And so by having it on someone else's device, you have easy access to it while you're in the process of fixing your own device. Okay. But because you're using Google 2FA now, it's actually your account. And so as soon as you open that account, it comes to the phone. But it just makes it one step easier to grab your stuff. But speaking of which, this two-factor authentication is a code that it's an alphanumeric code. Again, your IT guy talking to you again. When you set this up, I would take that code and write it down on your page of special codes. On this page of special codes, you're going to have the link to the website. For example, this one right here, you'll have your link, you'll have your passwords. The password not for you, it's for your inheritors. You write down the link, you write down the password, you write down this code, your 2FA codes, and you write down any other information. For example, if you have when you set up your Exodus wallet, okay, so you'll take those 12-word key phrase, and you put that onto your special piece of paper. You create 2 copies of this special piece of paper. 1 copy you'll put into your fireproof safe. We'll put it in an envelope first. Put it in your fireproof safe. The other copy, put it in an envelope. Give it to your lawyer, so that on the day you demise, that your family, friends, everybody can get that piece of paper, and they can go, okay, this is his accounts. This is how we get back in, so that they can take the funds out. Okay, because you don't want your funds to be sitting there. You want the people that you love to inherit the stuff. This is what you do. So make 2 copies of this important document. Do not create a password and put it on your screen. Don't do that. The password isn't for you. You need to remember your password. Speaking of passwords, here's some ideas on passwords. So, some people have difficulty remembering passwords. Do not write them down, other than this exception. Don't, because if someone looks in your computer, oh yeah, what's the password, and logs it. No, don't do that. Keep the password in your head. So here's an idea on passwords. Okay. Most people have more than one word in their head that they can remember. So, as an example, your mother's maiden name, and your father's middle name, your mother's last name, maiden name, your grandmother's middle name, your grandmother's maiden name, whatever. Words. Okay. Take a word, take another word, and put it together with a number. As an example, end it with an exclamation or some other special character. And now you've got a password that you can remember. What was the month I did that? Oh, I did it on this month, as an example. And you've got something you can remember. Don't write down your passwords for you. The reason why you're writing them down on these 2 pieces of paper is for your inheritors, so that they have a way to get into your stuff. Okay? Don't write it down for you. All right, let's go on. Next on the page here is, there's a couple ways to get in there. There's these home, wallet, all of those are on the bottom row as well. Okay, so they're here on the bottom row. And the way you deposit is, you can do that right from the home page. You can click on deposit, and it pulls up. Again, there's 3 ways to deposit. You can deposit USDT on the Binance blockchain. You can deposit USDT on the Ethereum blockchain, or you can deposit USDT on the Tron blockchain. Only one of those three. If you make a mistake, message technical, they will resolve it. Nobody's trying to steal anyone's money here. They want you to be able to do it right, and they'll send it back to whatever wallet you say. Okay. That's an easy way to deposit. Second way to get into depositing, you can do that from the home screen. You can also do it from your wallet container right here, the main address for all of the wallets. You can click deposit there, or you can withdraw. No big deal. Okay. And the third way is actually in the USDT container. It will appear here, and you can click deposit there, or you can click withdraw. Convert, I'll talk about that in a second, and transfer. I'll talk about that in a second. In fact, why not just talk about it right now? So the way you buy a booster, first of all, you have to deposit funds. Okay. Whatever amount that is, doesn't matter. You can do it incrementally too. You can send it in the 3 different flavors of USDT too. That's okay. Once it's all arrived, you then want to buy a booster. Now, this is important. 10% of the cost of the booster stays here in this wallet. 10%. So if you're buying one shared, that's $10. If you're buying one booster, that's $100. Okay. 10%. Simply move the decimal over 1 to the left. And that tells you how much has to stay in this wallet. Must stay in this wallet. And the other 90%, you click on convert and move it to the purchase wallet. So you click on convert, whatever the amount is, doesn't matter. It can be 90, it could be 900, it could be 9,000, whatever the number is, the number of boosters that you're buying, that 90% of it goes into the purchase wallet. Okay. And so here is where the purchase wallet is. Only put that which you're going to buy into the purchase wallet. Again, 10% of it must stay in the USDT container. And then when you've already done that, you can then click on package, and then you come down, and it tells you how much funds are being made that it makes. If you're buying a shared booster or booster, doesn't matter. Let's, for example, click on shared, and you click on buy now. Okay. If I meant to click on booster. Okay. Click booster. That's okay. And you can choose the quantity of boosters. If you want to choose the quantity of shared, that's fine too. For example, let's say I wanted to buy one shared and one booster and 2 shares. That's 12 shared in total. I can do that. And it'll then pull the funds from the respective wallets. And you pre-set up, in your booster, in your container, what you're going to do. And you type it in. So you put 90% into the purchase container. If you are compounding, that process is just as easy. 30% can come from the registry wallet, and you could pull the rest of the rest from the commission and the purchase wallet. And again, the remaining 10% will come from the USDT container. So if you're only if you only got in the purchase wallet, all of it comes from there, you'll type that in. So 900 is example if you're buying one booster, and then you would have 100 here in the USDT container. Click on the USDT container, click on I agree, and then purchase now. And you see the quantity here. Well, that's because I had changed the quantity up here. So depending upon how many boosters you want, it'll tell you what the quantity needs to be. Okay. So you then click purchase now, and away you go. That's how you buy a booster. And that's also, by the way, how you compound. 30% of the registry wallet can be applied to the buying of the shared or full booster. For example, so it's $27 if you're buying a shared booster, $270 if you're buying a full booster. Okay. All right. Let's go back to the wallets. In the wallets here, we've talked about BTH is simply a coin, an in-house coin, and you can buy and sell it as you choose and acquire more. And that's perfectly great, because in the future, the machine itself will also start to mine for BTH as well, and that'll be another source of income. We talked about the USDT wallet. The one thing I didn't talk about was the transfer. This is an internal transfer from anybody on your direct line, upstream or downstream, doesn't matter. You click on transfer, and away you go. And you have to put in their username, whatever their username is, and you would put in the amount, and it would go. And we use this really as a good way to let's say you got a friend that sent $1,000 as an example, and 998 of it arrived because they had a fee that they didn't know about. It does happen, and you just now send you a couple other bucks. Okay, that's what happens, and so it's an internal transfer. Okay, So let's go on to the next wallet that is the most, this is the purchase wallet, which I already spoke about. You can buy a booster and or transfer. That's it. Can't do nothing else. And I do only put into here what I plan on using to buy a booster with. Okay. All right. Now down to the most important wallet. This is the Bitcoin wallet. Every day you receive funds, every single day. Okay. And you can withdraw it or you can swap it out. Now, the reason why is because it's not a Ponzi scheme, because it's coming directly from the mining pool. You're the only one that can do it. So you have to choose to withdraw to your wallet, your external wallet, or you can swap it to USDT and buy another share. And that's okay. I do it all the time. The next wallet is the commission wallet. So in here, this is referral fee for if you have friends that decide to buy boosters, great. It's a referral fee and you receive commission on that. And you can transfer that to another account, or you can click withdrawal or buy a shared booster with it. So, and this is the last one, which is registry wallet. This is designed in such a way that it's designed so that you can use it to buy more shares along the way as your account grows. Okay. And you can either buy a booster or buy a share. And so the way I do the math is I always empty out as much as I can from the registry wallet. So the math is that is, for example, if you buy a shared $90 minus 27 minus the amount in the commission wallet, and that tells me how much I need to put into the USDT wallet. And the other day, like Saturday or Friday or something, I bought another share and I literally had to send $2.20 from my USDT wallet to my purchase wallet, because that was all that I needed. And everything else was covered by as a result of registry and result of commission. And so that's all I needed to send. So big deal. Okay. So those are the wallets and how that works. You can also buy and share the BTH at will. Doesn't matter. Away you go. Okay. I've already talked about the booster and where they are. Like I said, on day one, tonight, if I buy a booster right now, sometime tonight, before I go to bed, it will list as in here. Then tomorrow it'll flip to active. And then on Wednesday, it will then you start to receive commission. Okay. All right. So that's a couple of quick things about the wallet, about your wallets. So some sort of menu stuff, referral link. This is useful if you want to refer people. Go ahead. Referral tree. This talks about those people that you have referred, and you can filter for that. There's an icon in there, and you can click search by, and you can got that. We'll go down here to actual referrals. In here is where it micro shows you your business, and it shows you your current rank. For example, my rank is I've got 5.5 boosters, and I've got 15 personal to me boosters, and 132 on my entire team. Okay, so and it shows me the next rank I want to achieve, which is 5 boosters. So I've achieved that, and 270 boosters on the entire team, which I'm growing to that point. Again, it's just like, this is such a cool business. Like, never in the world have I ever come across a business where I didn't have to buy more stuff the next month and lose commission and lose volume and have to make the rank again, have to do like none of that. This is like super simple. Once I achieve this rank, I never ever go down, because the boosters itself simply produce every month. And never do I have to, like, the fact that we're selling boosters, that's great. You can make a one-time commission, that's great. But then they simply accumulate for you over time. Okay. And so that's really awesome. And it breaks it down and shows the numbers of what they are. Okay. Another couple of other important things here in support ticket. This is how you communicate with technical, and they're very responsive, of course, because they're in Kuala Lumpur. That's 14 hours off for me. I just got to be patient, wait 2 days for them to respond. Okay. That's just the way it is. And I talked about account, and down here at the bottom, we've got community. Oh, I missed one. There up here. This was, there we go. Come on. I've got about us. In about us, there we go. So in about us, it talks about the company itself, and it talks about, the team, all sorts of individuals. They've done Zoom calls and all sorts of stuff where people ask them questions. That's all in here. News, media stuff. Okay. and this is where you'll find the Binance live calls as well. Okay, so I just had a question in the chat, and I'll go back and show that to you just so that you can see, and that's okay. So here it talked about the question is what are the total referrals versus successful referrals? What is that? Okay, I'll tell you. So total referrals is the number of accounts on my entire team. So there's 170 of them. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm just an IT guy. Okay. And there's 170 accounts on my team. So if me, kind of a little bit antisocial, can do this as a passive income, that means anybody with more social skills than me can do it. So it's like super easy for everybody else. Okay. So what this is the number of accounts on my team, contrasting with the number of accounts that have at least one share booster.
Yeah, I'm ready to share.
Okay, I will not share. I will let you share. I'll shut up.
All right. This. Okay, you guys should be able to see my screen now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the bottom line of what I do this every week. This is week 15. I'm just tracking everything that's happening in my passive residual income journey. And the question is, are we solving financial problems? Yes or no? So that's one thing. I get a little bit of Bitcoin every week. We added the Bit boosters. This is 15 weeks ago, and that was $5.60 between me and my wife's account. We know how to get gas and get paid for it. We know how to do passing stores. We have some tools that we use, saving on bills, big ones, small ones, how to stream for cheap and really get savings. These are weekly numbers, and silver and gold. This is true multiple stream. This is really saving and income. How to get gold and silver. So watch this. That right there total is weekly. I mean, that's not a lot, but let's be honest, $134 a week doing nothing, that's not a bad thing. Well, all these numbers stay the same except Bit boosters, because remember, we have decided to take what we're making and actually just hold on 1 second. Go sit down. And do not go back to that door bothering your mother. Go sit down. That's what happens when you have grandkids running around the house worrying the mother to death. But so when I started tracking this, I'm smiling already because I haven't hit the button yet. But watch this. This is 15 weeks doing no work other than what comes in. I just roll it back in. This is not, let's be clear. Let's use the example me and Walter was playing earlier. I'm not talking about my commissions from the few people who have started getting machines and getting paid from those and hitting a rank. We're on level 1, by the way. We're a star 1. We're not a star 3, 4, 5, 8, and all that. We're a star freaking 1. I'm not even talking about that income. Not relevant. I don't care about the icing. I need y'all to focus on the cake. You pick how many machines you want. You watch those numbers grow. You get excited, share it with more people. And if everybody does that, just mind your business, share it with some people. And if they mind their business, everybody's accounts gets bigger. It's literally that simple. I'm telling you, there's no training. I hear people go through all these training and do this and jump through this, flip over here, make sure you do. Get what you can, tell everybody else to get what they can, you automatically make more. That is the bottom line. So I'm not even showing our commission. This is from the machines that we got in August and then kept rolling them over every time they made more. Look at this number. Do y'all see that? If you're not in here, has your income, whatever you're doing, gone up from $5 and change 15 weeks ago to over $1,300, almost $1,400? We're going up about 40-ish to 50-ish dollars in Bitcoin per week. That's the estimate of what we're going up. So you can do the math. Next week is going to be 1,400 and change, and so on up the line. Everything else stays the same. Look at that number. Do y'all see the difference in that number compared to this one? $134 compared to now. We just crossed 1,600. We make 1,600 a week doing absolutely nothing. Now, my wife, she still works to her job. She's loved it. She likes it. Now she's ready to get out. Finally, it only took 26 years. Well, no, she's been talking about this the last couple of years. But 26 years at her job, we have now surpassed her income. I don't mean we came close. We have surpassed her income because we added the Bit boosters at a whopping 133%. We're at a whopping 133%. So we make 133%. We've more than doubled our income in our house in 8 weeks. Then she got a pay raise for the year. She got her yearly pay raise a week after we caught her income. And because of the pay raise, I mean, thank God for it. It wasn't huge. It was $100 something or something per month, basically. Extra $100. It took us one more week to completely pass her income again, including her new pay raise for the year. Now we're sailing. That was week 9. This is week 15. This stuff is bringing a smile to a lot of people's faces. And watch this. This is my favorite number on the slide. Why? Because that 134.32 a week to 1,609.12 a week is a whopping 1,197% increase. It's going to be bigger next week. This stuff, it makes sense. Again, it's not, we're not bragging. We're just telling people like documentation. Now, for the new people on here, I will do it on this call too. Watch the chat for anybody new. If you have started, your 48 hours have passed and you have started getting paid, and now you don't get paid anymore. They ran off with it. They stopped paying you. You're all mad and upset about it. Put a 1 in the chat. Everybody watch the chat. I love this part. We do this on our Zooms as well, on our Teams. I can't see the chat because I have the screen. Walter, are there any 1s in the chat?
There is not a single comment at all. No, that one doesn't count. You didn't ask the question yet. So
yeah, we're talking about the chat, talking about a 1 if you are not getting your payouts from the machine. So there's none of those in the chat. If they were, yeah, that's some scammer talking foolishness. Like everybody's machines are paying them every day. Now watch the chat. And I can't do it because I'm screen sharing, so Walter will do it. Everybody who is getting paid, put a 1 in the chat. Look, watch the chat now. Tell me if you know. Tell me if y'all notice a difference. You notice anything different? Yeah, there's a big difference. 1s are flying in the chat. I can see the little red number changing. So, yeah, that's the difference, guys. One upset people not getting paid. It's all a sham. None. Everybody getting paid. 1s in the chat. Back to you, Walter.
And thanks, Mike. Actually, I'm just going to leave the share running here. Like, look at all these.
I'm sorry, I closed it. I'm sorry.
All of these people so happy about what's going on, because this is a real company. We're making some real money.
So what I want to ask, let's assume I have somebody who's interested. Like I have chatting with somebody who's interested to come in with to buy 5 boosters. So am I going to get any commission based on what I have, or it's only when I have one booster that I can get commission on that?
Okay. So if you have a friend that you talk to, which is perfectly fine, it's okay to do that. And it's a great way to have an extra source of income, because you get a referral fee for every booster that your friend buys. And that's really nice income. And so the minimum that you have to have is 1 shared, which you do. And so once you have an active account, any booster, doesn't matter the number, you don't have to have any sort of more than him or whatever. No. If you have a shared, you can get a referral fee from him every time he buys a booster. Now, I'm going to tell you about something else that's really cool, okay? This is the coolest part, is he just bought that booster and you get the referral fee. That's perfectly great. But then that booster sits on your system as well, and you get a little percentage off of all of those boosters that you refer and they refer. You get a little percentage of that going forward, as you know, every single day, a little bit from all of those other boosters. And that's really nice too.
Wow, sweet. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, it's Queenie here from New Zealand again.
Hey, Queenie, good to hear from you.
Hey, I just wanted to share again my testimony from being involved with a company for 4 years, and it was totally amazing, and it ended up disappearing. And so and we lost, and my team and we lost like, you know, 5 figures, probably more combined. And so I'd lost faith in this type of business. However, from the beginning, when I saw BitHarvest, there were only like less than a handful of people who were in the Zoom at the time, and I think it was before July. And now you have like 60 to 100 odd people that come into the Zooms now, and it's just I'm really excited for us in the Pacific, because we really need a good opportunity in this BitHarvest, is, especially with the information that's provided with Jan and with Walter and Wendell. Is it Wendell? Sorry. And yeah, it's just, yeah, like, there's stuff out there in regards to negativity from places, but the information that has been provided and shown and proven, and also the progress of the leaders from the beginning to now, it's just amazing. The proof is in the pudding. I was started with a share booster, and I'm pretty sure the funds have been, you know, I've just watched it. You know, I just sat on the side and watched my little booster, and, you know, I got paid every single day. And then beyond that, just seeing the progress of all the leaders, as I've already said, it's just really, if you're sitting on the fence, it's definitely worth looking at and investing, and also following these leaders. The leaders are basically showing the way for us to progress and build for ourselves, in the first instance for ourselves. And yeah, and anybody who comes on board with us. So thank you, Walter. Walter is an amazing, supportive leader, and he's definitely there for the multitudes. You know, if anybody needs anything, he is there. And Andy as well, you know, that is very helpful, very supportive of Jan Gregory. I mean, he's the man. He's definitely done his work to get this out here. And it's just amazing, and I'm looking forward to prosper with this moving forward. So thank you.
Wendell, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Nope, I'm good. Thank everybody for coming. Keep inviting people, and let's keep sharing this if you want to. But again, if you decide not to, you don't have to. I showed you guys our numbers. I didn't even show y'all any commissions to prove a point. No commissions were shown. I probably never will show them. I can tell you, but it doesn't matter. You don't have anybody to talk to, and you got that, whatever your vice is, alcohol, cigarettes, illegal thing, whatever. You got funds sitting around doing nothing. You can use those, but don't take your bill money or any of that, your retirement fund. I mean, now again, that's up to you. I can't tell you what to do, but if you're really worried about it and not sure, but you got funds that you go out to eat all the time, or you spend on alcohol all the time, or cigarettes, or video games, and you've got zero returns, you've never got those funds to ever pay you back. If you use that, you're good. It's literally that simple. If you're really concerned and not sure and don't want to take any significant funds from somewhere else or whatever, take your vice money, funds that's never paid you in your entire life, where it only goes away from you, direct some of that to something like this, in my opinion, and see if that changes anything for you. Those are my last words.
Thank you, Wendell. Those are great last words to close on. Take action, because you're literally losing money every day, 3.5% a year on your income sitting in fiat currency. And if you don't take action, you are losing money. So you don't want to lose money that way either. But I agree 100% with Wendell. Discretionary funds, yeah, put them to work. Try it out. Create an account today. Talk to your friend that gave you this video, and go give them a call and get started. Try it out with at least one share, because come on, $100. If I've got people in Venezuela and India and Uganda and all sorts of places in the world that buy a share for $100, and it's really difficult in those places, here in the West, come on, you can do more than $100. But there's no pressure. You can do whatever you want. Go do it and have a great day.